I'm here together with Camiel, the CEO of Vingino. I've just been reminded that Vingino was established only in 2001, 16 years.
Yep.
It's quite an amazing story when you look at how Vingino has developed over those few years. It's very impressive. Anyway, you've got a big stand here at Pitti Bimbo. The home market for you obviously is Holland and Benelux, I guess. Tell us a bit about your situation there, you know, what objectives you had, whether you've achieved these objectives, you know where you stand.
Yeah, what we see in the Benelux, because indeed the market is bigger than just Holland with Belgium on top. We're still growing, which is good. We have also established some stores within the market. So we have 9 franchise and company-owned stores within Holland. We also started with a lot of shop-in-shops within Belgium. So within the Benelux market, we are the market leader, and we continue to grow, which is very good.
Okay.
And of course, as you mentioned, if it's your home market, you want to make sure that you're successful in the home market, and that's also why we launched now a big collaboration with Dani Bles. She's one of the key stylists within Holland. For the Germans, she also was a stylist of Sylvie Meis. Most people in Germany will also know her, and that's the key thing. We also launched that whole collection now here within at the Pitti Bimbo. It's the first time the trade will see it.
Okay. Quick question regarding retail. Obviously, you are focusing very much on retail. You know, we can talk about the online operation or the digital world later if we have time. But what are your experiences in your home region, Benelux, as possibly in Germany as well, with regard to retail? Do you think there are ways to make and to keep retail a thriving business, or because it's suffering from digital sales, obviously? What are your immediate thoughts?
What we see is that, especially in the bigger cities, it's difficult to maintain multi-brand stores and smaller multi-brand stores within those big cities. So there you have the department stores, and what we see also from a brand perspective, we would like to be there, and this is why in Italy, in Germany, and in Holland we launched some retail stores. It's still not our key driver. The key business is still coming from multi-brand, and that's why we work very closely with our multi-brand partners. It's still by far the biggest part of our business, and will continue to be the biggest part of the business. But in key cities, we see that in Holland, in Germany, in Italy now, we have opened and will open either franchise stores. So we're always looking for partners which like to have a Vingino store, and in case we can't find one in some cities, we'll open one ourselves.
Indeed. The Vingino is operative in Germany now, I think, for 6 years or something like that?
A bit longer. We're about 10 years now.
Oh, really? How many shops do you now have, or what's your retail presence in Germany at the moment?
We have about 450 point of sale within Germany. So that's the multi-brand partners and some online partners. And we just opened the first store in Mannheim. So that's store number 1, and then there's 2 outlets which we have.
You had a test store, I call it like that, in Hamburg some time ago. What kind of results did that yield? What happened to it? What was your?
It was the first store, to be honest. It was operated by one of our major multi-brand clients in Germany, and they opened it. It was the first store of the company at all. The whole brand didn't have a store, and at that time was the wrong location. To be honest, because if there's no traffic, then it's difficult to sustain it. So it opened for a short time, and then we turned it back into a multi-brand store.
Oh, I see. Okay. But it's a worthwhile experience. You know, it's something you analyzed kind of deeply, saying, you know, that's, you know,
Yes.
in Germany, you know, that's, you know, Germany, which, you know, retail-wise might be quite difficult. So you learn from
we learned a lot from that, and also from a traffic and brand perspective. The store we now opened in Mannheim is performing well, and it's on budget, so we're happy with that.
Is there a big difference in customer or, you know, shoppers' expectations with regard to Vingino products, with regard to the material, than Benelux? Do they want different colors? Do they want different cuts? What's
at the end, we see the consumer is not that different. If you look from a trend angle, what we do see is that the German consumers, and at the end, of course, the mommies are still buying a lot.
Yes.
Sometimes a little bit more conservative, and that's also in the head of the buyers.
Yes.
Because we see now that, for example, we had a couple of multi-brand stores which tried something pretty new, destroyed denims, more edgy product, much more jog denim, and that and they were very surprised that within 2 weeks some of those styles already were sold out. So I think the consumer is more edgy, and also social media has a big influence on this that we see is very effective.
Okay, so you know, basically this might indicate that some of the buyers actually don't know their target group that well at times, you know, which may happen. But
they look at what has been successful, and that's all something you need to bring innovation. That's the reason we do something different at Pitti Bimbo now, and also product. You need to bring newness.
Do you you know, analyze a market like Germany? Do you do that in Holland? That you go, you know, really you have a look at social media, you analyze, you know, shopping habits, behaviors, you know, numbers, and then inform your partners, the buyers, in order, you know, to really get them to work in a certain direction? How do you do that?
There's a couple of things we do. One is you look at sell-through numbers, what has been sold in and what has been sold out. Or designers, they go often to the German market, and that goes from Düsseldorf to München to Berlin to Cologne, and we do focus groups.
Oh, you do?
So that you understand what is the need of the consumer, and of course, and if you have a focus group of 8 people or 12 kids, it's still not thousands, but you get a good sense of what's happening. And the last element which we do a lot is what's happening on social media.
Yes, okay.
Because that's where you see new trends coming. And one of the things we did in Germany, for example, is that we worked with Faye Montana. She's pretty big in Berlin, or in the whole of Germany, with more than 200,000 followers. And so we closely follow what's happening within the German market.
Again, you know, we are touching on a very interesting subject. Social media, bloggers. How do you evaluate bloggers? How do you know, bloggers need to be authentic.
Yes.
So, you know, you cooperate with them, they might cooperate with others. There's always a danger that, you know, they lose their authenticity. Is that something, you know, you have someone really sitting wherever, watching this closely every day? Yeah,
so within our marketing team, there's one team member who's the only thing is doing is social media. Which is crucial within the market nowadays. And to your point, it's true. The kids nowadays, or the mothers nowadays, they want to have somebody who's objective. And if they see the same brand every day from the same blogger, then there comes a time that they're not trustworthy or not believable anymore. So we'd rather work with them on the credibility phase, where we see them or we give them information or that we give them the product, and then it's up to them if they're going to use it, yes or no. So this is something. And then what you see now with vloggers or YouTube channels or Musical.ly is they often have different ways of earning their money than just receiving money from brands. Which makes them more credible.
Yes, absolutely. Because that's obviously it's an ongoing debate, you know, as you can imagine. And as always in the communications industry, you have certain areas that develop quite quickly, but which can't be analyzed deeply enough, because the data are not yet there. So therefore I was asking, how you evaluate it. So in order to talk to the German consumer, social media is for you now the main channel of communication, or what's the mix?
Still, it's a mix. And if you look at it, it's a 360.
Yeah.
You still have newspapers, you still have television, you still have print.
Yes.
Look at your own business. Now we're on live stream on the YouTube channel, but you still have also a magazine. And I think that will never change. There are still moments that people will still going to read the newspapers instead of the e-reader, or the book instead of the e-reader. Yeah. So I think it's still a combination. What is very important for us is that we have two consumers. One is the child, from 0 to 16, and the other one is the person who's often buying the product, which is the mother or father, or grandmother or grandfather. So we have to make very clear that we have to communicate in two directions.
No, certainly. Denim is going through quite some evolution. What are for you the most important takeaways? What are you focusing on with really regard to your product and the development of your product?
For us, the last 6 months and the coming 6 months, that's three things. One is innovation. The Destroy Denim is one of them. The badge program. So we saw a lot of denims with the badges on. That we were the first denim brand to hit that spot. The second is never out of stock. This is something which of course is less interesting for the end consumer, but it is a lot for our customers. Right now, for example, we have almost 100,000 denims on stock, which we can always replace. So up till now, we launched it 5-6 months ago, and we have delivered 100%. And we see now already that there is also a consumer who comes back because they said, "Hey, I want the skinny Donna, but I want to know one size bigger." The fixed price, which is the fixed retail price which you're communicating, and that's not. It's going to stay there as long as there's consumer demand. And the third element is that we see that jog denim, depending a little bit on the market, but it's working. There is a lot of consumers, especially on the boys' side, which put it on and they don't want to take them off anymore because it fits like a pajama. And they love it.
It's the soft material. It's
softer material. And then it's for us very important to make it durable. It should fit it should be soft and the feeling should be right. But of course, when the boy is playing outside, it has to be durable. So those, I think, are the three key things we have focused on and are focusing on.
Is there a growing awareness with the consumers about where the denim, where the fabric comes from, environmental issues, sustainability? Is that something you are turning your attention to more and more?
So since last year, it's very clear that all our fabric suppliers, all our factories are following a code of conduct. We have submitted. We also we have some objective parties which are visiting. We do the tough testing, which is the German regulation. We have some external parties which are checking our garments and also checking our factories. And we pay for an independent company to do this, also to prevent that when they know when we are coming. So it's better that somebody is checking everything. And we also decided to move out of Bangladesh. We've done that according to the Bangladesh agreement. We did that for 5 years, and now focusing more on European or Turkish markets. Half of our business or items comes from Turkey, and the rest is coming from Indonesia and India, Pakistan, and China.
Do you think the producers, manufacturers in Europe are getting more and more competitive, so that they might replace, even manufacturers in Indonesia and in the Far East? Is that a development you see, or a development you place some hope in?
That's going on already, I think, for quite some time. Portugal is coming back, and we see that the good thing about the lead times for delivery. If we produce something in Turkey, within a week, it's in all markets. Whereas it's coming from Asia, it takes a long time, and the market is getting being close to the market is getting more and more important.
Yeah, it makes you more flexible. What's your objective? How often do you change? Your ranges. How often do you introduce really, like here, new products? What's because obviously again this kind of instant gratification. The consumer sees something, they want it quickly. You have to respond. How quickly can you do that? What's your kind of line where you draw? Where you say that.
What we did since 1.5 years now, that every month we deliver. So there's 10 deliveries. There is a sale momentum which is still in the market all over the world. But in all the other months we have deliveries. So we also give our customers now, the consumer and also customers, the opportunity to every month have Vingino freshness within their stores. Because a lot of consumers, both online as also in the stores, they come more often, and it's good to bring newness in there. So we deliver 10 times a year. We deliver product.
Any means you have to increase, although it is, I think, already pretty high, to increase customer loyalty, to make them come back? You rely on the product. The product obviously is they like it. But is there anything else you do in the various markets in order to communicate with the consumer, to really work? Having a consumer is good. Gaining a new one is much more hard work and more difficult. So is there something you are focusing on, or where you say that's a trick we are playing quite well?
The thing which is the most important for us is that the product we bring to the market is trustworthy, and that the consumer who's wearing it loves it. So then the next time the kid says, I would love to have this product again because it was my best denim or my best sweat, or when they go to a party that they say, I want to have this on because I look best in it. And this is what we have to continue to do, that our product is credible, and that we continue to bring newness. It's also why now in the here at Pitti Bimbo we focus again on the kid. We just did some shows, dancing show, the Pitti is dancing. It's children. We have 3 DJs here today, which is one is 11, one is 12, one is 13. Later on we will have Maggie and Bianca, which is a big hit here in Italy, which is also young teenagers, children, which will perform. So our focus is on children, because we need to be to deliver the product for them.
So there are lots of collaborations you look for, and you then really establish with the right partners, serving these various markets. Regarding, Vingino always had a very kind of creative approach to the design of its produce. The creative process still happens in Amsterdam, or near Amsterdam.
Close to Amsterdam. That is Greater Amsterdam.
Yes, exactly. I've been there. That's it's great, and so that's really where you have, so to speak, your think tank. That's where all the kind of the influences are being collected, and where the design team actually sits and develops and designs.
Yes, but
or do you pick up certain signals from?
Vingino already says it. We are inspired by Italy. It's inspired by Italian design. So I think our designers spend a lot of time in Italy. They travel. I see all their travel schedules. They travel all over the world. A lot in Asia, a lot in Turkey, a lot all over Europe. But Italy is for us a key market. So if it's Rimini, if it's Bologna, Napoli, Bari, here in Florence, Milano, they go there and they spend a lot of time in Italy. Because in the last 60 years we have been successful by bringing this touch of Italian in everything we do, from our stand to the product to the brand messaging, and we have to continue this, because that's what we stand for. So yes, we are in bigger Amsterdam, where most of our people are. but we spend a lot of time in it.
Fascinating. Camiel, thank you very much. I think we have to move on.
Okay.
Thanks for your time, and all the best for your trade fair here.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.